Oklahoma Inside Out, a weekly broadcast of Cimarron Alliance that focuses on the issues, culture, and people important to LGBT Oklahomans. And now, here's your host for Oklahoma Inside Out, Scott J. Hamilton.
Hi, and welcome to this very special edition of Oklahoma Inside Out. I'm really happy that you joined us today. We are here at the 2012 OKC Pride Festival, celebrating Pride Weekend and Pride Week. Our first guest on our program today is a man that was with us just a couple of weeks ago on our show, and today I'm happy to welcome him back. Josh Sauer, Vice President of OKC Pride.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, Scott. I appreciate it.
So here it is. This is the culmination of your work and the work of so many other people. And
absolutely.
Before I even ask you how I think you think it's going, I'm going to tell you that I think it's pretty amazing. People seem to be having a great time outside.
For sure, yeah, it's fantastic. We had a little trouble with the wind this morning, getting everything set up. We literally had tents blowing through the air all at once. It really happened. We got it all fixed, and the work that we did leading up to this has sure paid off. And thank you, thank Robin with the Gaily, thank the Gazette, thank you all for getting that message out, and it's a fantastic event.
I saw something on Facebook earlier today, and I thought it would be hard to come up with a better compliment for the Pride Board. And it said, you guys have done an amazing job keeping us all informed about all the details this year. And I agree with that. And I know what kind of work that is. So you guys really have done a good job letting everyone know what's happening when and where, and even where to park down here.
Well, thank you. We try as hard as we can. We have a great social media person, and the person that did the website this year kept everyone informed on top of things, and so we're real happy about that. We had great festival coordinators. We had great organization, a lot better than years before, and so this is a learning experience. It's something that we've benefited from this year, having different people on our board. And this is going to be a fantastic location for years to come, and we plan on having it here every year at the festival.
I want to talk a little bit about it. In a few minutes, folks, we are going to be going out into the street, talking to people at the festival. But from where we're sitting, we can actually see much of what's going on here. We are in Film Row in downtown Oklahoma City, and I will say that this was, I think, a brilliant idea to come down here. What was the impetus for Film Row?
The feel that you come down, the feel you get when you come down here and just walk out here when the street is empty, is just, it's very, I don't know the word to describe it, but it's beautiful out here. It has a sense of history. When you walk through here, there's the film tradition. This is the only existing active film district in America.
Is that right?
That's right. And so this whole Pride Week has been inspired by films. We showed a film last night. We obviously have this in Film District today, and then we have, for throughout the Pride Week, we also have other films. So it's a great location. It's just a great feel when you come down here.
It is a great feel. I was down here one night. It was after dark, and there were no people on the street. But it was this marvelous kind of film noir feeling.
Yeah.
You could almost see Humphrey Bogart standing on the corner.
Yeah. There's a star in the middle of the road, and you see that Devon Tower and the lights, and it just kind of pops out. So.
And I will say, I don't think that parking is nearly the problem that people thought it might be. There was good parking nearby, and I think it was really smart, and I think that you all are making some smart decisions, and I'm really very proud of the partnership that we have with OKC Pride, because it's what it's about. We're all doing different things.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I actually got you a Pride shirt.
This is for me?
This is for you, and you can wear it anytime you want. It's OKC Pride. It's our official logo, and they're selling like hotcakes.
You know what? I'm going to put this on during the break.
Okay.
And when we come back, I'll have this on. But before we take our break, Josh, I want to just talk a little bit about some of the events going on this coming week. The festival is today. The parade is tomorrow, Sunday. And then next weekend is the OGRA rodeo. But what happens between now and then?
The Great Plains Rodeo is next weekend, and then we have this week, we have the parade tomorrow on Northwest 39th and Penn, and then we have Monday, we have a tribute to the gay pride flag, and you can wear a certain color.
And the same
purple
is true the next day as well.
Can you help me out here, Robin? I'm so sorry. I have so much going on, and it just...
This is live TV. This is what happens.
I've read over this so much that I forgot. It's Wear Purple Day on Monday, and then on Tuesday we have the Greece, the movie night at Greece, and that's at Expressions Church.
And that's outside, right?
That's outside. It's an outdoor
Very
movie,
cool.
and we had one last night. And outdoor movies are so awesome. They're really cool.
You're too young to remember drive-ins, aren't you?
I've been to. I saw Batman at a drive-in probably 15 years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah, I did. It was. I don't remember which Batman it was, but it was a cool experience. It was. And then, of course, we have P. Flag and Norman, Church of the Open Arms, and Cimarron Alliance is doing a film on Wednesday, and that's at the Church of the Open Arms.
Fish can't fly.
Fish can't fly, exactly. And then we'll skip over Thursday.
No, we're not going to skip over Thursday because that's. I mean, hopefully this is making you a star, but nothing like you're going to be a star on Thursday night.
Yeah, Yeah.
No. You can't leave them hanging like that.
I'm doing a drag show with you, and what's your name?
Cimarronette.
Cimarronette. Mine is Hazel Lies. Hazel Lies. And
You have your dress picked out?
I have not done any shopping. I'm going thrift store shopping on Monday.
Well, if you need some hints on big girl clothes, I've got lots of resources.
I need some big girl clothes. I need some big girl clothes for sure. And then on Friday, we have various club events. We'll be throwing celebrations, and then we have Wear Pink Day, and that's a tribute to the pride flag as well, and it's great symbolism there. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday we end it with the Great Plains OGRA rodeo.
Just a fantastic week, Josh.
It's going to be great.
We're going to have to take a break now, but thank you for being with us. Thank you for all the work that you've done, and congratulations on a terrific Pride.
Thank you for having me on the show today, and thank you for coming out and broadcasting live. This is going to be great moving forward. Next year, I can't wait to do it again. It's going to be great. So.
Folks, we'll be back right after this break.
Hi, I'm David Macy, a board member of the Cimarron Alliance, and I'm asking for your help. We work every single day to make life better for gay Oklahomans, now and for generations to come, but we can't do it without you. Please consider making a gift of just $20 a month to the Cimarron Alliance and be a part of our march toward equality. Visit www.cimarronalliance.org today and make your pledge. It's a gift you can feel good about giving.
Hi, and welcome back to Oklahoma Inside Out. I'm so happy that you're with us today. And I'm not saying that Josh Sauer is not a nice-looking man, but all of a sudden, your picture just got a whole lot prettier.
Thank you, Scott.
Robin Dorner from the Gaily. I was about to call you the publisher because that's publisher and editor and photographer and amazing writer. You do so much in every issue. And the Gaily is a must-read in Oklahoma.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Really great stuff. I want to talk a little bit about you, but I want to just mention to folks, if you're not familiar with the Gaily is the newspaper that focuses on news that's important to LGBT Oklahomans. You cover lots of stuff in Oklahoma City and in Tulsa, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. I was there recently. I met one of your advertisers.
Yay.
And they were talking great things about the Gaily. So I think it's really important for people to know that a newspaper that's based in Oklahoma City does not cover just Oklahoma City news, because we have 365,000 gay people in the state of Oklahoma, and we are scattered everywhere. And so I think the Gaily is an amazing way for people to stay in touch and know what's going on.
We're actually reaching up into Wichita, and they're really paying a lot of attention there. I'm getting ready to go take a trip up there in mid-June. They have a group called the Kansas Equality Coalition. They do a lot of lobbying. They have an environment very similar in their state capital as we do here.
Yes, they do.
They have a great guy that runs their Kansas Equality Coalition, a guy named Thomas Witt. He is allowing me to do some of his, he does some write-ups about what's going on there in their hostile environment, also to their LGBT community. So he's keeping us posted. And you'll see some more of their work in the Gaily also.
That's exciting because we do face such similar circumstances.
Very similar.
I could only hope that there might be occasion for us to work together and support each other.
Yeah. He's also going to help Randy Potts with the gay agenda up there. Yep. So.
I want to move beyond the Gaily just a little bit, because although you are managing in all aspects an LGBT newspaper, supporting the gay community is nothing new for you. You've been doing this a long time. And I'm always curious, what is it that drives a successful straight person to at times really stand out on that ledge and be bold and say, you know what, I need to make a statement here. How long have you been involved in equality issues?
Well, this is my 21st Pride in Oklahoma City. I don't know. When I registered to vote when I was 18, I asked my mom, how do we register? And she said, we're poor, so we register Republican. And I too chuckled after I educated myself and understood that government cheese we got did not come from the Republicans. And I don't mean to be political. As a journalist, I'm supposed to remain unbiased. But this year, as the leader of the gay newspaper, I just can't. I see what's happening to my gay brothers and sisters, and you are all my people, and I'm having to speak out. You know, President Obama has done so much for the gay community, and there's just list after list of what he's done, and the big things are don't ask, don't tell, and his endorsement of marriage equality, but there's a very much longer list. You know, they did a statement on Homophobia Day. I didn't even know it existed until the White House released a statement on it. You know, they support equality for black people. I mean, gay people, equality in general. And I've been very involved in that for very, very many years. You know, I have a lot of Muslim friends. You know, I just think that openness and equality is vital. And it's not just about gay people, it's about all of us. When they start taking away your rights, they're taking away women's rights. I'm a woman, you know? So it's important to all of us. So if I don't stand up for you, what's going to happen when they start taking away my rights? You're going to stand up for me. So it's all of us, guys.
It is, and I think that you're being a little modest, because I know you, I have an opportunity to work with you, and I just want you to know how much we all appreciate,
Thank you.
Not just the Gaily, we love the Gaily, but how much we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Show up, you stand up, and for that, great appreciation.
Well, and I just want to say this, I appreciate that recognition, but we do produce the Gaily, but I'll tell you something, it takes every columnist, every writer that I have extra, every effort of every person. It's not just, I mean, I may be at the helm saying, okay, I need this topic this month, and I need this done from you, and my creative people, Chris does a lot of work with Cimarron, and Chris Moyer, and he works for me doing some creative work too. He's a big help to us. I couldn't do it without him. He does a lot of our layout and design. You know, it is about all of us working together. And yes, it's hard. I get papers up to Wichita. There's a kid, Jason Diltz, there that gets them out for me. And
I met Jason during the Gay Agenda here.
Exactly. So it's just this huge effort. Toby Jenkins in Tulsa is a huge help to us in getting us news and things that happen in Tulsa. So there are so many people involved in this, and it truly is not just about me. I appreciate you saying that, though. So, and I'm usually not modest.
Robin, we're going to have to take a break, but
Good.
I want to thank you for being with us.
you.
And you're going back out to your booth now.
Loving the Pride.
Give
It's
everybody
great.
our love, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Happy Pride.
Stay with us. We'll be back right after this break.
One of the most important things you can do for yourself and for those you love is to know your HIV status. Knowing your status means you can live a healthy, productive, and happy life. HIV testing is quick, confidential, and in most cases, it's free. For testing locations in Oklahoma, dial 211 today.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Inside Out. As you can see, just in the past few minutes, we've had a lot of folks to talk to, and there's so many more outside. We'll be outside in just a few minutes. But first, it's my pleasure to welcome to Oklahoma Inside Out Mr. OGRA himself, Frank Thompson.
Well, thank you.
Welcome to the program.
It's a pleasure.
And tell me about your title that you're holding right now.
Well, I'm actually representative for the Oklahoma Gay Rodeo Association this year. It's our 27th rodeo. That's going to be held out at State Fair Park, Barn 6 and 7 over Memorial Weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Now, I have to confess, I had never been to a gay rodeo until a couple of years ago, and I didn't know what to expect. And what I found were some amazing athletes. It's a wonderful rodeo.
Well, it's we do normal events like bull riding and team roping and barrels and poles, like you see at normal.
Bull riding is a normal event?
Yeah,
not for me, it's not.
Normal event in the rodeo circuits. Sure. But we also have some really fun events, like our goat dressing and our wild drag, that just really pulls everybody in and makes it a real fun family-style environment for everybody to come out and enjoy.
So let's talk a little bit about the schedule coming up. There's something Thursday night to kick things off, right?
Yes. Thursday night we have our Stick Horse Rodeo, which starts at 9 o'clock down at the finish line, down at the Havana. Friday is registration, so we have cowboys, cowgirls coming in all across the nation, from California to Florida, all the way up from Canada down to Texas, coming all in, doing registration, and then we have our royalty review. And what it is that, like I am the royalty here representing Oklahoma, people from California, Texas, everything come in also, and we put on a show for our charity partners here also, so all the proceeds go back into our community. Saturday morning, we kick off the rodeo at 8 o'clock. It starts off with the roping on foot. Around noonish, we'll do our grand entry, bring out our grand marshals.
Who are your grand marshals?
Sonia Martinez and Dee Goodwin.
Oh, a wonderful, wonderful couple.
I know Sonia has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for the community.
Yes, she has.
And Dee was the second Miss IGRA, the International Association, back in 1986.
Wow.
So tribute back to the past, and thank you for what they've done to help us see the future.
Oh boy, that's terrific. That's terrific. And so the rodeo goes all day Saturday until about what time on Saturday?
About 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Then from there we have a Texas Tea Party. All of our friends from Texas come up and they put on another show for our charity partners here. And then we have a bar crawl following that evening. So it's an all-day event.
Wow.
To follow back again on Sunday at 8 o'clock to be finished at 5, and then we give away the saddles and the buckles and ribbons and everything to the winners of that nature. And then we also have an appreciation party Monday at Phoenix Rising to say thank you to all the volunteers, spectators, community for just helping out and just making this just a great annual event for Oklahoma.
Oh, Frank, that's exciting. I want to go back just a minute and underscore something that you said. OGRA is truly a philanthropic organization. You all support a lot of groups within the community, don't you?
We do. Our local charity partners that we have here are Other Options, it's the food bank for people with disabilities. We also do Be the Change, which helps out with HIV medications for people. And then Expressions Community Center, where he does HIV testing, other things. And then our national charity partners that we do are the Trevor Project, which their campaign this year is Be the Change. Mm-hmm. And then also the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition.
Wow. Well, Frank, it's going to be a busy week for you, I know, and I appreciate you taking the time to stop in and visit with us today. And I'm going to make you promise that you'll be back on our show real soon. Is that a deal?
Deal.
Frank Thompson, Mr. OGRA, thank you so much for being with us. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back right after this break.
This edition of Oklahoma Inside Out is made possible through the generosity of friends and supporters like you. To support this program and the advancement of equal rights for LGBT Oklahomans, please consider making a generous gift today at CimarronAlliance.org.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Inside Out. I'm Scott J. Hamilton. Thank you so much for being with us on this very special video edition of our program. Just want to mention that while we don't do a video show every week, we do one that's an audio broadcast every single week. You can listen to it directly from the Cimarron Alliance website. That's www.cimarronalliance.org. And it's also available on iTunes. So when you go to iTunes, just search for Oklahoma Inside Out. Our next guest with us today is Stefan Warner. Stefan is the Director of Christian Education for Church of the Open Arms here in Oklahoma City. And first of all, welcome to the program, Stefan.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
I want to, you're a young man and in Oklahoma, a young straight man in Oklahoma. How is it that you make your way out to the OKC Pride Festival in support of gay folks?
Well, I think Pride Festival is very, very important. I'm so glad to be here. And like most people, like many people in Oklahoma, I grew up in a religious tradition that a lot of guilt and shame is around the topic of homosexuality and getting anything gay. So to be out here, I think it's liberatory for me and just for anybody, and as a community of Oklahoma City, to shed these feelings of guilt and shame around something that we should be proud about, which is sexual orientation.
You raise a point, and I'm going to get a little personal here, if you don't mind, and if it's too personal, just say so. But you grew up in a very religious environment, one where it was pretty intolerant of LGBT folks.
Yes.
So how is it that not only have you come to a very different way of thinking, you've done so and still stayed involved in a church situation? What was that transformation like for you?
I mean, it's been going on for the past few years. It didn't happen overnight. It probably started off with personal experiences, very close friends of mine coming out of the closet, and me really needing to prioritize what's more important, my friends and my family who I love, or a religious dogma, a doctrine that was intolerant and hateful and not life-giving. And so when it took me a while to think about those questions and to find answers, and eventually I was able to find communities that were open and affirming, like Church of the Open Arms, and there's many communities like that in Oklahoma. And just it took me so long to find these communities. It's really surprising how hard it is when you grow up in a religious community that's very intolerant. You think you're the only one that's having these thoughts, or you think you're the only one who doesn't hate gay people, and then you realize, and then you find out about Pride Festival or Church of the Open Arms or Expressions or any of these churches where every Sunday, every week, there's people gathering together that are happy and loving and not intolerant.
Well, I just want to say that it means a lot to have the support of our straight friends, because honestly, as an LGBT community, we can only do so much, and it really is incredibly important that our friends join with us. And I just think it's pretty awesome that you're here today, that there are so many straight people. As I look at the festival outside these beautiful windows, that all of the people, gay and straight and younger and older and many colors all together, and I think that this bodes well for the future.
It does.
And I want to say thank you to you for the work that you're doing to help enlighten and also to bring support to younger folks who might be wrestling with their own sexual orientation. I know that that's a part of what you do, and so for all of us, Stefan, thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for being with us. We're going to take another break.
You're very welcome.
And
Thanks.
We're about to head outside in just a few minutes. And we'll be back right after this. Stay with us.
See ya.
Life can be a joyful adventure of spiritual discovery. At Church of the Open Arms, we believe in following in the way of Jesus as an inclusive, justice-seeking community, seeking the power of unconditional love that changes lives as we work together for alternatives to violence, as we seek racial harmony, full equality for LGBT persons, green, sustainable respect for the planet, ending sexism and patriarchy, and encouraging interfaith dialogue. Church of the Open Arms, UCC. Check us out at www.openarms.org.
Hi, and welcome back to this very special video edition of Oklahoma Inside Out. I'm Scott J. Hamilton, and I should have mentioned at the top of this broadcast that we are actually sitting in the IAO gallery, and so it's only appropriate that we say hello to the executive director of the IAO, Clint Stone. Welcome to Oklahoma Inside Out.
Thank you, Scott. Glad to be here.
Listen, from the very first time I met you and I was in your gallery, I have been impressed with the diversity of art that you have here and just the amazing inroads you're making into the Oklahoma City community. You guys are involved in so many things now.
You know, we try. The arts community is a very diverse community. IO by nature is a very edgy gallery, so we want to have diverse shows, include as many different artists as possible, and be involved in as many different projects, especially important projects, as possible.
You know, I think that a lot has changed, certainly in the art scene in Oklahoma in the last couple of decades. There is just some great art here today.
There is.
And honestly, 25, 30 years ago, there was great cowboy art, great Indian art, and not a whole lot of anything else. And now there's just this explosion of everything from fine art to just really every media right now.
I think so. There are so many great artists from Oklahoma and moving to Oklahoma. Oklahoma is actually a very nice place to be. The living's easy. It's not an expensive place to be. It's a great place to have a studio. Artists aren't leaving like they were 20 years ago. Artists are staying more, and we're having artists return. So
you're actually meeting people who may have grown up here, worked here for a while, left, and they're actually coming back?
Every week I meet an artist who tells me that story. It's wonderful.
Well, I think that speaks well, certainly, to the cultural aspects of things in Oklahoma City. We've got a lot more theater, community theater, than we've ever had before.
We do, and a lot of new dance troupes forming, seeing performance artists forming groups right now, which is wonderful. It used to be a couple years ago you couldn't find a performance artist, and now we're having maybe one new performance artist we've never heard of approach us each month. Things like this, make me very happy. I know that Oklahoma has very far to go to be the progressive place we can be. But all these artists returning, making things happen, organizing themselves, I think is helping make that happen.
I think that's well said, because we have a long way to go to ever be a progressive city, a progressive state. Some of the things that have happened in our legislature this year are confounding at the very least.
Yes.
But wouldn't it be something if 20 years from now we were sitting here and we looked back and we said, wow, the artists had a whole lot to do with changing the entire political, cultural landscape of Oklahoma?
I certainly hope so. Artists by nature can be risk takers, and many times are risk takers, and they're not afraid to be vocal or visual, depending what needs to be done. And seeing all the artists come together and the new galleries popping up, the new little wonderful places to live and visit that have been formed by artists and restaurants working together, artists and bands working together, are really making little niche areas in our city that where you can see the progress. And I just hope the rest of us catch up.
I was talking to Stephen Kovash over at ISFON the other day.
Wonderful guy.
He is a wonderful guy. And one of the things that we, in this conversation, I found so interesting was how gallery owners, directors, curators, people are really working together to promote each other's shows. It's really, I think, we all could learn a lot from that example.
I think so. All of us in the arts world here are very competitive, but it's friendly competition. We want to poke each other until we go a little bit further and a little bit further and make things just a little bit more enticing or a little bit more intriguing. We want to one-up each other, and it's fun. And it's competition, and it's friendly competition. We all talk. There's no shutting anyone out. I love that about the Oklahoma City arts community.
That is so great to hear. We're going to have to take a break in a minute, but first, tell me what's happening in June at IAO.
Well, in June, we start off this show that we're in right now, Edge Art Now, will close on June 1st. June 2nd, we're going to host Sit State Art, which raises money for animal welfare. Right after that, we get ready for Dead Center. Dead Center will close, I think, the end of the second weekend in June, and then we immediately will open Fiberworks on the Friday after that, and we have several events and performances. You have to go to our website, iaogallery.org, to really keep up, or friend us on Facebook.
Oh man, you've got a whole bunch of stuff happening very, very soon.
We do. We try to keep things moving.
And I just want to say that, folks, if you're watching this broadcast before the end of May, I hope that you'll make it a point to come here and check out this show. This is really a very interesting exhibit at the IAO Gallery. What's the address here?
At 706 West Sheridan.
Okay, Clint, I thank you so much for being with us today on Oklahoma Inside Out, and promise me that you'll come back and we'll talk a lot more details about the things that are happening here.
Anytime, Scott.
Real pleasure, buddy.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Stay with us, and we'll be back with more of Oklahoma Inside Out right after this.
Hi, I'm Talitha Glossmeyer, co-chair of the Cimarron Alliance Board of Directors. I joined the board because I believe in the vision, mission, and work of this organization. We are working every day, listening to the concerns of our community and helping to address those very concerns. I hope you will consider supporting Cimarron Alliance with a gift of just $10 a month. Working together, we really can achieve equality for all gay Oklahomans. Please visit www.cimarronalliance.org and make your gift today.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Inside Out. We are broadcasting today from the Oklahoma City Pride Festival on Film Row. There are hundreds and hundreds of people just outside these windows, and it's wonderful to see so many people here today. And our next guest is someone who has been intimately involved, not just with the festival this year, but with OKC Pride for a long time. Kirk Martin, welcome to Oklahoma Inside Out.
Thank you,
You
Scott.
know, we were going to have you on the show a year ago, and life has just been busy for you. It's been crazy for all of us, it seems like. So, and I know that you've got a million things to do today, so I appreciate the sacrifice of a few minutes to visit.
No problem. I appreciate talking to you.
You were president of OKC Pride.
Yes, for a couple of years.
And now you're serving as volunteer coordinator.
That's right.
Why would anyone volunteer for that job?
Well, I was this is my fourth year on the board, and this last year I said, I'm going to stay on the board, but not as an officer, and I want to focus on volunteer and membership, because what happens with our organization, as with many organizations, I think, is that you have a small core of really dedicated people, and their passion and their drive to do things often means that they're the ones doing everything. And I thought, we have a good enough cause, we can recruit people to help multiply the effort and get more people involved in the effort too, and participate and give back to their community. And so I really wanted us to make an effort to increase our membership and increase our volunteer base. And that was my focus, that and helping the new officers succeed and the new board members be successful, build that capacity within our organizations to continue to grow in the future.
And I'll tell you, my hat is off to you, because I've seen so much good coming out of OKC Pride in the last couple of years. There's a synergy that I think is wonderful. I love the fact that so many organizations are working hand in hand. When I looked at some of the folks who are here today as exhibitors, it's really wonderful to see so many different groups and different individuals and different organizations present. And that I know you're not going to take credit for that, but I'm going to give you credit for it, because you've worked really hard to bring people together. And I think moving the festival down here was a great idea. When I first heard rumblings about it, all I could do was absolutely support it, because it made so much sense to be in a place where we raise our visibility and show folks that there's nothing to be afraid of. We are integral to the fabric of Oklahoma City.
We thought, and thank you for your support, Scott, and we thought that this year, being our 25th year for the parade, that we had a chance to make a statement, because of the extra attention of being 25 years. And we thought that we've been looking for a new home for the festival. For years it was Memorial Park, which is a great location, but there are limitations there. There's very limited parking. If it's soggy or wet, then the turf is an issue, especially with our vendors. Being downtown in the heart of this city that's going through such a great revival, in this community, this little area of town that's going through such a revival, we thought this is a great time to take our place more mainstream, to increase our visibility in the broader community. All the businesses on Film Row couldn't have been more gracious. They rolled out the red carpet for us. We're happy to increase the awareness of this area as well.
Very, very quickly, you and I didn't talk about this, but I heard something on the street a few minutes ago that impressed me more than anything else that I'd heard. you all have been looking for volunteers. You've needed help, and to put on a festival this size, it takes a lot of people. But you wound up with some very unlikely volunteers today, didn't you?
We we did. We have a lot of straight people volunteering for us. They are increasingly comfortable coming out as friends of gays and lesbians, and realize more and more how important it is for them to step forward and support their gay and lesbian brothers and sisters and children and neighbors and friends and fellow churchgoers. And so, this is wonderful to see. In-laws and aunts and uncles and, moms and dads. It's great. Brothers and sisters, neighbors. My postman was here. So that's great. I mean, that's the kind of integration that we want to see. We don't want to be separate but equal. We want to be equal. We want to be integrated into this community. We want to be a part of this community, and we welcome the community, participating with us.
If we can multiply this week what you just described by 52, Oklahoma City would be a pretty amazing place. And I have to believe that it's because of the work that you do and other folks on the Pride Board, all the wonderful LGBT organizations in central Oklahoma who are working to make a difference. If we all keep at it,
that's right.
I think we have a shot. And at 25, your silver anniversary for OKC Pride, I want to say to you, thank you, and just know how much we respect and support the work that you're doing, and how much I appreciate you personally.
Well, thank you, and the love goes back to Cimarron and the leadership that you guys have shown through the years, and helping establish the President's Roundtable so that these organizations, the leadership of these organizations, can come together and keep each other informed and get to know each other. I think so many of the organizations are on the same wavelength now. We're aligning our missions, we're aligning our activities, we're supporting each other, we're promoting each other's activities, we're pitching in to help each other, and that is very empowering for the whole community.
It is. It really is, and it feels good. There's just strength in numbers, and I don't mean politically so much as emotionally. It's great to have that, and it's great to visit with you. I know you've got to get back to your work, but we're visiting with Kirk Martin, a great friend from OKC Pride. Thank you, Kirk.
Thank you so much, Scott.
We'll be back with more Oklahoma Inside Out right after this break.
One of the most important things you can do for yourself and for those you love is to know your HIV status. Knowing your status means you can live a healthy, productive, and happy life. HIV testing is quick, confidential, and in most cases, it's free. For testing locations in Oklahoma, dial 211 today.
We've been saying throughout the show that we're going to head outside in a few minutes. Well, now it's time. So come with us as we take a look at what's happening on the street here in Film Row in Oklahoma City for the 2012 OKC Pride Festival. As you can see, I've got a little color already today because it's been a gorgeous day here in Oklahoma City for the 2012 OKC Pride Festival. Tomorrow's the parade, but right now there are so many people out here on Film Row. It's wonderful to see such a diverse crowd. With us now is our friend Brandon White, who is president of SAFE at UCO. And Brandon, you've been on our show before, just not on the video version. So welcome once again to Oklahoma Inside Out.
Thank you.
Tell me what this is all about.
Well, this is all about just being fabulous But what we're doing here today is we're just kind of here. We came together as just kind of collective group of GSAs from colleges across Oklahoma to kind of be what we called a sort of a one-stop shop for people who might be thinking about going to college, who are already in college and aren't aware that these groups exist on their campus, or that they want to find a college that has these groups so that they can find an accepting and affirming college to go to. And
SAFE has just done so many wonderful things. You guys have just exploded in the last few years. I know Dr. Macy, as your faculty sponsor, has been instrumental in that, but so has the student leadership. And I need to give credit where it's due. You've done a great job in your leadership roles. You've had many roles within the organization. And tell me some of the things that you guys have done just in the last month or so at UCO.
In the last month, kind of the last half of the year, for school, we had our quality week. We had Paula Schonauer come out and do a book reading. We had, during a quality week, we had like a transgender kind of 101 where Paula came and spoke to us, and that was really great. We had our It Gets Better video, which was a campaign that we did through UCO, and we created a video that kind of outlined the affirming and accepting climate that we've created at UCO. And then our final was supposed to be a cookout, but unfortunately the weather hindered that. So, well, we will be rescheduling our cookout. So
I'm going to count on an invitation to that one. It's always a good time. Brandon, thank you so much for being with us on Oklahoma Inside Out. Keep up your good work.
Thank you.
Need to say that UCO is not the only school here today. We also have OCCC represented here, and your student group at OCCC, I know that there's been a lot of interest in making some things happen. First of all, tell us your name.
My name is Chris Reece.
Hey Chris, what do you have an office in your group?
Yes, I'm the president for next semester. I was vice president this semester of our GSA group.
So it's got to be a little bit different in a college where there is no housing. It's a commuter school, and I would guess it may be a little harder to get people involved, but you guys are having some luck doing that, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, every semester, we're just now jump starting ours. So with next semester coming out, especially with me being president, I have a lot of goals that I want to achieve, especially like more membership and getting more involved in the community. So yeah, I mean, we're growing. That's definitely what I'm looking for in the future.
Well, I think that you have a particularly unique mission in that you have an opportunity to educate a lot of people who may otherwise not be exposed to any kind of an LGBT organization. And so your work on campus has got to be valuable in that regard.
Yes, it does. And actually, I think working with our student government or our student life, I plan on, getting together with them, bringing guest speakers, stuff like that, so that, we can get our club more involved with other clubs around our school.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that. That's exciting news, and I want to thank you for being with us. I'm favor though, and that is that after you get into next semester and things start to happen, you'll come and be a guest on Oklahoma Inside Out and let us know all the good stuff that you're doing. Will you do that?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, Chris, a real pleasure. Thanks so much for being with us today. We have more to come on Oklahoma Inside Out, but first we'll take a break. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Randall Marsh, a board member of Cimarron Alliance, and I'm asking for your help. We work every single day to make life better for gay Oklahomans today and for generations to come, but we can't do it without your support. Please make a gift of just $20 a month to Cimarron Alliance and be a part of our march towards equality. Visit CimarronAlliance.org today and make your pledge. It's a gift you can feel good about giving.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Inside Out. I'm Scott J. Hamilton. There are so many wonderful people here today, and we just can't talk to everyone, but I'm awfully glad that we've been able to snag a couple of minutes with our friend Lance McDaniel, the executive director of Dead Center Film Festival. Welcome to Oklahoma Inside Out.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure. I'm a big fan of your show.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. This is June coming up, and that means it's time for the Dead Center Film Festival.
Exactly. Our festival is June 6th through 10, and this is our 12th year of doing it. And we will show, we start with a free outdoor movie on Wednesday night, 100 movies over the weekend through Sunday night. It's a wide array. There's about 20% of the movies are from Oklahoma, and about 80% are from around the world. And we've got a lot of really fun stuff this year.
Is there a particular theme to the festival this year, Lance?
There is. Last year we got a lot of films of faith about Muslims, Christians, Jews. There are a lot of different faiths represented, and this year there seemed to be a lot more movies about artists and about the role that art plays in culture. And so we have one called Ai Weiwei about a Chinese artist that's super significant right now, Wayne White, who was on Pee-wee's Playhouse. So we have a lot of really fun documentaries about artists, including Bob Marley, Paul Simon. So it's a good year for artists for us.
Well, I'm going to ask a big favor, and that is, will you come and do an audio of our show? We do that podcast every week because I want all of the details on Dead Center Film Festival. Tell us your website address.
Okay, our website is at deadcenterfilm.org, and there, if you go under schedule, you can see all 100 films, and you can see trailers and everything that's going to play. And then one thing is, I directed a movie as well that'll be in the festival called Just Crazy Enough, starring Chris Kattan, and he'll be here as well.
I'll tell you, this is just another example of good things that are happening in Oklahoma City, and it's happening because of people like you. Lance, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate everything you do.
Well, I hope that you've had a chance to see some of the excitement that's happening here at the 2012 OKC Pride Festival. Again, congratulations to all of our friends at OKC Pride, and a very special thanks to all of our guests today. We were really, really fortunate to have some wonderful friends on the broadcast today, and that means a lot because they all took time away from their duties here to be with us. I hope that you'll have an opportunity to take advantage of some of the great things happening all week long for Pride Week here in Oklahoma City. And I'm glad that you chose to spend some time with us here today on Oklahoma Inside Out. We'll be back for another video edition of this broadcast very soon. But until then, know that you can hear us every single week in our audio podcast that's available at CimarronAlliance.org and also on iTunes. I want to say a very special thank you to all of the great people who make Oklahoma Inside Out happen every single week. Very special thanks to our producer, Chris Moyer, our production assistant, Calvin Rowe, our office coordinator, PK Kelly Palmer, our announcer, Lisa Fitzsiri, and our friends always at the Gaily News Desk. Cimarron Alliance board co-chairs are Jeremy Hood and Talitha Glossmeyer. From all of us at Oklahoma Inside Out and Cimarron Alliance, broadcasting from the Oklahoma City Pride Festival 2012, I'm Scott J. Hamilton, thanking you for being with us. Until next time, hang on to the vision of a fair and just Oklahoma.
Oklahoma Inside Out is a production of Cimarron Alliance, Central Oklahoma's preeminent LGBT advocacy and education organization. If you have a topic you would like to hear discussed or a person who you would like to hear interviewed, please call 405-495-9300 or email oklahomainsideout@cimarronalliance.org. Please feel free to share the link to this broadcast with your friends.